Well, have you ever been online and just came across something that you really weird that you just felt like you needed to buy? Yeah, well, I was looking around and I came across this Fat Boy rocker. It was 149 bucks. And I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it. Sure enough, it came. Now, when this thing came, it was really tiny and wrapped to the gills. And I'm not gonna lie, the hardest part of this bike was unwrapping it. There was so much wrapping to this thing, it was crazy. Honestly, it kind of frustrated me. Because at one point, I'm trying to untie things, cut things, and wasn't working. Then finally, I got that all done. And I ended up with this mountain of trash.
So much trash.
It was crazy.
Unbelievable. See, it came with a chain guard. What?
Now, being the bad mechanic that I am, I tried my best to put this thing together. But it was actually a lot easier than the unwrapping part. It came with this massive box of parts, though, and half of it I didn't really need. It was pretty easy, though, because all I had to do was screw in the pedals and put the handlebars on, which wasn't too hard at all. And once I finally put this thing together, it didn't actually look half bad.
Alright, so first impression, this thing is like really tiny. Like it's like, you got nothing here. I mean, it's super unstable. If you go the least bit back, you're falling off. I mean, like, it's crazy. Something's up with the crank. I got it fixed, but I mean, overall, this thing's pretty sick.
Now, despite how heavy this thing was, it was actually kind of fun to screw around on. There's definitely something wrong with it, though. When it came, it was just kind of thrown in the box. It was super easy to jump, though, and it was actually a pretty fun time to ride around. I do not suggest taking this on long bike rides, though, because this thing is tiring. With how small the chain ring is, you get nothing out of it. The looks actually aren't terrible. One thing I have to say is the bars are massive. I mean, they're regular sized BMX bike bars, without a doubt. I think that's kind of a problem. It might be a little bit too big for this bike, so I might be changing them out. But good idea for a future video. Believe it or not, this bike actually has you can actually go backwards on it, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, kind of sucks. Now, I'm not very good at tricks on bikes, but this thing is probably the closest I'm going to get to a 180 on a bike. And this thing is also probably going to be the most injury prone in the future. So if you want to watch me get hurt, then I'd stay tuned, because I kind of did right there. Another weird feature about this bike is you can push it and it won't stop. It will keep going. Like if you fall off and it's still straight, it will not stop. Now just for a size comparison, these are how big these bars are. They're practically bigger than the bike itself. It's crazy. Now, as cheap as this bike was, the welds were not actually half bad on this thing. It actually seemed like it was well put together, not just thrown in a welder. Now, it came with a bunch of these cheap extra parts that I don't really need. I was wondering why they even came with them in the first place, if they did. And it also came with this weird chain ring, which I thought was really unnecessary. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.